to another episode of the Baby Mothers podcast. Thank you if you've already watched the last two. We appreciate all the support that we've been getting. I am your host, Shells, aka your favourite baby mum. Also I want to big up the Baby Fathers episode that they last done with a guy that was telling his story. It was a bit of a wild one. If you haven't caught it, make sure you do. A bit controversial about the mum letting her boyfriend bath the kid. Wild. So make sure you check it out. So on today's show, I am joined by a lady called Coco. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you.
Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
So obviously let's jump straight into kind of your experience as a mum.
Okay.
So let me start by asking you, how many kids do you have?
I have two daughters.
Two daughters. And how old are they?
My oldest is 17 and my youngest is 7.
7, okay. And do they have the same dad or different dads?
Two different dads.
Two different dads.
Yeah.
All right, okay. And how would you say your relationship with the dads is?
I would say both of them, the relationship is good.
Okay.
I would say my oldest daughter's dad took me a period of time to get to that good relationship. Okay. And I would say my youngest daughter's dad is good because of what I went through with the oldest one's dad. So both of them are good, basically.
All right. So why don't we talk first then about your oldest daughter? So you said she's 17.
Yes.
And you mentioned that the relationship wasn't always good.
No.
So why don't you tell us a bit about maybe when it wasn't good? What was kind of going on?
Okay, just to give you some history, myself and my daughter's dad, we had been together from 16, that type of age, so we were young, teenagers when we got together. It was very quick, I would say. So we got into a relationship, we moved in quite quickly, and we had her quite quickly. So I'd say within a year, I was pregnant. So I was pregnant by 17.
And I was about to say,
yeah.
17.
Okay,
so
I was pregnant. Young. Yeah, I was pregnant by 17. Had her at 18. It was good for the first, I would say, year and a bit. But then he had his own things going on the street, as men do, or, so he was doing his own thing. And it came to a point where I found out, and then we kind of departed and broke up. So
let me ask you, so once you broke up, how did you go about setting kind of the boundaries and the expectations of like visitation, support? Like, how did you go about doing that?
Okay, that was I didn't. I felt, as I said to you earlier, I felt like it's hard to as a young person know what co-parenting was, because I think for me in my life, I grew up with my dad, wasn't really there. I had a single parent mother, so I didn't want that for my daughter, and he knew that. This is how I saw it. So we had these conversations. You knew that I wanted to have a child in a family unit. So because I felt that we broke up because of him. Yeah. And because of him doing him. So when that happened, I felt like he came out of our contract. I felt like everything we spoke about, you've now not doing it. So for me, it was, well, if you don't want the family contract, you don't want the child. Right. That's literally how I was with him.
So I'm kind of getting the feeling, was you quite angry?
Very angry. I felt like I lost my family. Yeah. I felt like a disappointment. Like, this is my family, this is what, this is my family, and it didn't work. So all we had spoke about and all the things we had planned, you decided to come out of it, so you don't get the privileges anymore. That's how I saw it different. Well, and I didn't see co-parenting, to be honest. I didn't see how it worked together.
I'm getting what you're saying. Like, you're a young mum now, got a child, and like you said, you are upset. And you are angry.
Yeah.
So would you say that it was... Would you say you acted on that in any way?
Yeah, I did. When I say I acted on it, I didn't stop her from seeing him in a sense, because I've got a good relationship with his family. So she would always go there, and his mum used to look after on weekends and help me. But I used to make it difficult. Very difficult. There was no easy access. And because I felt, I'm an independent person, so I felt like, you let me down, so I'll just get on with it then. You do you there, and I'll do me here. I literally made it hard.
Okay. Can you give us? I mean, Listen.
All right, I made it hard.
Can you give us any examples of how?
Yeah, I used to say things that if you're picking up my daughter, you pick her up from my mum's. You don't pick her up directly from my house.
Okay.
You don't call my phone directly.
Okay.
You send me a text, email, or we do it like that, or you go to your mum and your mum will contact me, or I should do those type of things. I made it difficult, even in terms of, I would say, maintenance and stuff. When he was with me, I wasn't really worried about that because he always used to contribute and do everything. But when he left, there's a figure on it now.
Yeah, did you? And
I used to say pay as you see.
And how did he respond to that?
My motto was pay as you see. So I was, if you don't pay, you don't see.
There you go, yeah.
I literally was like, pay as you see.
And was he okay with that?
No, he wasn't okay with it. I think I have to commend him, but he wasn't okay with it. I think for him, he's very a logical person, a logical man. So his first instinct was, okay, we need to go and get a court order now.
Okay.
So he went and he actively paid his money and he done what he had to do on his end.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, so did he seek?
He done it.
Oh, right,
he literally was like, I'm not playing these games with you, because he knows me very well. That's what I didn't get. He knows me more than anybody, so he knows what I'm upset about. And so he was like, well, I'm not playing the games with you. I'm gonna do it I'm gonna do it through the law.
Okay.
And he did.
And was that a shock to you when he done that?
Not really. I was steering it in that direction because I knew if we didn't do it like that, I will continue to play because I resented him for losing my family. So I knew I was not going to make it easy for him regardless. So if we done it this way, at least it's in paper. I would have to adhere to it because it's the law in a way.
And how did that process go? Is it quick? Did you get something put in place quite quick?
No. Well, the first letter was a solicitor's letter. So he went through a solicitor. So that was the first letter to say that he's seeking an access order at that time, because this is 2003. This is so many years ago. So he was seeking an access order.
What's the access order? Is that for regular?
Well,
regular visits?
Yeah, an access order can be determined by what you want, basically. Okay. So when he's done a seeking for the access order, then we had to go for mediation, where this is why I'm saying accountability for me, because even at mediation, I went and gave him everything he wanted. So they were looking at me like, well, what's the problem? Because I know, so. Okay.
So let me touch on that. So I'm going to assume he's gone for an access order because you're giving irregular access, or it's based on how you feel when you want.
Yeah.
So thought, right,
I was putting in some demands like, you have to pick her up for my mum. There's certain demands that he just didn't.
Difficult. Yeah. And I get that there are some dads who say, the mum will say, if you don't come at 2:00, or they say,
I
Saturday. And if they can't
I can admit I used to do that.
Then which can
or
be
come 5 minutes after the time. You're not seeing it.
You're not right. Okay.
But I admitting it, and I think it's growth as you grow older. She's 17, so I've had all of these years to understand the part I've played in it. Yeah. I'm not going to say he didn't play a part, because obviously he's played with my mental where I felt like certain things. Yeah. But I definitely was the bait. If you don't come at 4:00, you're not getting there by 4:15.
Yeah. Do you know? I think it's really good of you to admit.
It's hard.
Do you know what I mean?
It's hard.
People watching the show probably think, all baby mums think we know the best. We think the same. We all stick together. But you're being honest, and you're admitting that you did make it difficult.
I did.
You're explaining why.
Why?
And we're not saying it's right that you made it difficult, but you are just being on it, and you're just explaining that there is a reason. And I think that's important, because I think lots of dads are quick to say that mums should always separate, their feelings from the kids, but it's easier said than done.
So for me, my daughter came after me being with him. This was my love for him. This was our relationship with him. So we've had this plan. We're having a child. We're doing this. Yeah. So my child's come after that. So for me, you've not stuck to yours part of the bargain. I'm now left with the child. I love my daughter, but you get what I mean? I'm now left with... It's a huge thing that I'm left with now, since we planned it.
I do think people don't give mums enough credit for just saying, it's with anything. You don't expect any boyfriend and girlfriend who break up to treat each other amicably, to suddenly be best friends. Even if you're with a friend at school, Nobody says, all right, then cool, you should still be civil. Everyone accepts that it's beef now, you two don't speak. but like I said, but
it's
parents, we're not allowed to have those emotions.
It's true.
So that's just a bit of background as to why
I think it's maturity as well. If I maybe had my daughter when I was 20, I might not have been thinking the same way I was thinking when I was 16. Like, it was on. This was my enemy now.
Of course. You know? All right, so you go to court. So you did mediation.
Yeah, we done the mediation, but me being me, I went in and gave him everything he wanted.
So why do you think you did that? If you were so angry and so, like I said, you were making things difficult, I would have thought you go in the room and do exactly the same. Why do you think you gave him
I'm a law-abiding citizen.
Was you scared at all, intimidated?
A little bit. I've never been to court. I've never been into that situation. I honestly didn't think he would do it. If I'm honest,
yeah, of course.
I literally, when I got the letter, I didn't think he would go to a solicitor and do it. But I get why. But I didn't think he would.
Yeah. And did you have any? Like, did you have to get a solicitor? Or
no, I went and done it myself.
Did you have any support?
No. I went on my own. He actually came with a new partner, but that's a whole...
To the mediation?
That's a whole different flex. He came
that's a different flex. That's important.
He came with a new partner to the mediation.
Why?
She comes to parents' evenings too,
Why?
but that's a whole different thing.
Don't people watch Judge Judy?
No.
Judge Judy always says, I watch Judge Judy, and she always says
she
in
was
the
supporting
court,
her partner.
why did you bring the partner?
She was supporting her partner.
No, it's not support. You don't need no support. He could have brought a family member.
No, she was there.
That's antagonising. So he's brought a new partner to the mediation.
Yeah.
And you're by yourself?
No, I was with my mum.
You're with your mum?
I was with my mum. But what he would always say about me is I can talk. I know I'm very, and where he would say he's not really good at that, where I can talk my way. Yeah, I'm very articulate. Okay. So when I went in there, even though I was in a frame of mind where we're beefing, or I wasn't going to go and tell the court, no, she can't, I wasn't going to do that.
Yeah. So, and let me ask you, what kind of things did he ask for? So like, what kind of came out of the order?
So we went there, and even the judge was actually surprised because I gave him half parental rights and every other weekend, and he actually turned around and said, I'm working, I can't do that. It has to be every other weekend.
So he went and got less. You know what? I feel that's an experiment.
He's
a lot of
literally
do with these guys.
Yes.
You're like, cool, have the child, have them all. No.
That's what he said. I work. I can't do every weekend. I have to have her every other weekend from Saturday to Sunday. So he literally went
left. Not a weekend, that's a day.
So the judge said to me, I can't give a father what he doesn't want, but I commend you for coming and doing half. Because I was saying, okay, half school holidays, because I want my free time now. I've grown. I want to party and stuff now. Mm-hmm. So I said half holidays, half parental care, but no, he got every other weekend. So he's got that. So he got every other weekend.
Okay, all right. So he's got that order.
Yeah.
How did that change the relationship? Like, did that make things better? Was it easier? Was it easy to stick to?
No, if I'm honest, I think it's more about me as a person I am. If you diss me, you're always going to be, you've dissed me. So I just kept him at a distance. As she was growing up, obviously I still have to have some type of communication somewhere. Mm-hmm. So it was hard. And there has been times when he has called police. Oh, really? For no access. Yeah, I've been through, she's 17.
So why
we've been through the mill.
Call the police?
I don't know what might have happened. He probably, he used to do things of, he's got his life, but what I'm doing, he's always wanted to comment on. So he would come to me out of the blue, I've seen you on your socials, what's this? Or he would always comment. So I think we might have had a little tiff.
Oh, right, okay.
And I've told him, don't call back my phone. Okay. And he's now come to pick her up, and I wouldn't let him pick her up.
I was going to say that. Was there, even though you had a court order,
I still did.
Was there any times that you still said nah?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What happens when you say no?
What
happens? Like,
he called police.
Do they come?
Yeah, they come.
And can they make you give over your child?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it depends. It depends on his situation. Like, yeah. I've even gone to pick up my child from him, and he's denied access from me, and I've called the police, and they've told me I can't take her because it's his day. So I've got to go home and come back on. Yeah.
Oh, so was she going on a day that weren't your day?
Yeah.
Get her back when it weren't your time.
If you get on my nerves.
I see.
Yeah, and they can, because it's a civil matter. it's not a criminal offence. However, they will try and mediate and negotiate, and obviously they're the law. So when you see police in uniform, you're just going to stick to it. But they will come. They will tell you that, you know, that this is the court order, as long as you've got the paperwork. But my daughter's dad's always got the paperwork, probably near the door. He's got so he can pull it out at any time. So yeah, as long as you've got your order, they will come.
Okay. He's got a new girl partner as well.
It's his wife now.
Oh, it's his wife.
Yeah,
okay,
it's his wife now.
Okay.
Yeah, it's his wife now.
Does that make that easier for you?
I also had a husband, so it is what it is. And they married after me, so. Okay. But we moved on. I suppose we moved on.
Let me ask you this: Has the wife?
Yeah.
Whether she was the wife.
That's the same one that came to court and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. So from when she was the girlfriend to the wife, what kind of role do you think she played in this? Was she ever helpful? Was she ever antagonising? What kind of role do you think she played?
All that we're talking about earlier on, aren't we?
Yeah, you tell me.
Because now it's different, but it's changed.
Okay.
Because earlier on, she was playing the I not being bad, but I call him pick me. She was one of them women where whatever she wants to be so happy with her partner, but she didn't get what the woman was like because she never had children. Yeah. Oh, right, that's what I saw, because she never had her own children. Okay. She didn't get it, so she very much tried to be mother to my daughter, and that was a hell for me. My daughter used to call her mum. She did? Yeah.
How did you feel about that?
Ooh.
How did you find out that your daughter was calling her
She would say mummy and then her name, and I would tell her no, and then say the name. It's not.
Did you ever address that
with him? Yeah. I used to address him all the time.
How did that conversation go?
What happens in my house is my house. What happens he's very much when you're doing your thing, because he would say things to me when she's with you. I don't really. You tell me I can't have her, because I did used to say to him, it's my business. Mm-hmm. So he turns it on. Well, when she's with me, this is my business. Okay. And I didn't tell her to call her that.
But I'm not stopping.
But I'm not stopping her.
Wow.
I had to stop that right in its tracks.
So did you manage to get your daughter to be like,
yeah.
I mean, I guess, so would you say your daughter liked her? Like, has always liked
my
her?
daughter, well, we're doing the honesty game here.
Yeah.
I used to be upset with my daughter. My daughter, I actually feel like you're not my... She used to be a sellout, you know? Yeah. Like, I
guess she was so young, like you said.
I would look at her like, I'm your mum. But she's a lovely girl and she loves her dad. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what really made me realise that I rate him. Because I used to say to him right off, my daughter, don't call my phone. That's not your child. I used to say something back and he would still call the phone.
Wow, so you were trying to put him off.
And he would still turn up.
Just cut it, let me do it. But he was consistent. Not consistent as in with money and picking up and looking after, but he was always trying to be her dad. He would never just walk away, and I have to rate him for that now. Yeah. He would always, and I used to say things to him like, write her off. You don't need to call her. I can get on with it. I work, I do everything, I can do it myself. And he would be adamant, no, I want to see her. Yeah. And I commend him for that. Well, we have to do that, because there are some dads who, one, don't care in the first place, they don't try. Or two, some of the dads do say, when it does get too difficult, mm-hmm. because it can, like mm-hmm. say if you're up against a brick wall, mm-hmm. sometimes they do lose, not the love, not that they don't care, but some, say that it's too hard. Yeah. And they just... Well,
talking to him now, he takes a lot of accountability for the part he played in how I was, because he gets it. He gets that the hurt and what he put me through and the emotional stuff was why I acted out in that way. Right, okay. Because now that I'm detached and I'm not emotional, we don't have no problems.
Yeah. How long do you think it took for you to get there?
She's 17. I would say when she was about 10. I think it was her. It's her that's made me fix up. Yeah.
Oh, really?
She's made me fix up, because in the beginning, as I said, I felt like she didn't care what I felt. Yeah. But then I realised that she loves him and he's a good dad to her, and he makes her realise, because for me, I was very scared of my daughter being out of the world like I was, and she's not, because she's got him. Yeah. He does a lot of that. I can get you this. He gives her a lot of talks, and so for boys and things like that, she's not involved in that because she knows her dad's not going to be, so I think for that.
So he's playing an important role.
Yeah.
He's doing more than just, pick ups and looking up. He is.
No, he's her bestie. Like, they wear twin trainers and all sorts. They're besties. That's it. And he will call her and have conversations about his life. You know, that's his best friend. He's very close with her.
So that helped you to...
Yeah, and I think him not holding it against me either. He just knows I was a hot head. And I'm very headstrong. And I think he made so many different mistakes. He couldn't say to me at the time he made a mistake. He had to just let me go through it. Yeah. And then now that I'm out of it, it's fine. I think, yeah. I do think, yeah, because I think for me, what I needed to understand was co-parenting and relationship. That's what I didn't know. I didn't separate the two. So for me, if he wasn't in the relationship with me and doing the family, I didn't see what co-parenting was. Yeah. I didn't even know how they could coexist. Yeah. So I think, I don't know, it's a learning curve.
Because, like you said, because she loved him and she wanted to spend time with him, yeah. I feel like, so obviously, like you say, if she wants to go, you let her go. What if it was the other way around? What if she didn't like him and she was saying she didn't want to go? Because obviously he's got a court order now. How do you think you would have dealt with that if she was like, I don't want to go? I don't know about
that. I don't know. I wouldn't want to force her. Right. But then I would want, because it probably goes down to my own daddy issues, where I've had my own issues in terms of dad, so I would still let her go. Yeah. But I would listen to why she doesn't want to go, I suppose. Yeah, I'd listen to why. Had that
a bit of situation where sometimes my daughter doesn't want to go to her dad.
Okay.
But it's nothing. I know it's nothing to do with her dad because she loves her dad, and when she's gone, she has a very good time. I think she's just very clingy to me.
Right.
So she doesn't always want to go.
I wish mine was like that. It's
difficult, I think, as a parent, because sometimes she would get very upset. Sometimes she would cry and be like, "Mummy, I don't want to go," and then I was like, "She doesn't want to go. I'm not going to make her go." But then I'm like, well, do you listen to her on anything? If she says she don't eat vegetables, do I say, cool, you're 7, you can make your own decision? No, I don't.
It's hard, it's hard.
And
things like that we do have to have a conversation about. And has there been things we don't agree on? Not really. Well, he didn't agree on me taking her out of the country for longer than a certain amount of weeks, and I did.
Okay. And so did he say he didn't want you to go?
Yeah, he sent police to the airport.
No way! What, you was going to try not to tell me that?
Yeah, I was going to go for a couple of months.
Hold on, we need to go back. So, where was you going?
Jamaica.
She's going, are you from Jamaica?
Yeah.
So you're going home, you're going to Jamaica. How old is she?
She was about, how old was she when we was going to Jamaica? About 13.
She's about 13, right? Yeah. And you're planning on going for how long?
6 months.
6 months. And did you tell him that? Like, I'm going for 6 months.
I tried to have the 6 month conversation. It weren't working. So I said 2 weeks. But then she told him a couple of days before, because I thought, let me let her see him for his weekend before we go.
And you didn't want to not tell her that she's going for 6 months, because, I mean...
And then she told him.
So she told him, and then what did he do?
He called the, I think it was passport office or something, and they did turn up at the airport when we got to go and check in, and said that she couldn't go.
Really?
Yeah, because he's got a court order.
So did you not go?
I went with my other child. By this time, I had another child. For the Jamaican I was going to Jamaica with my other child. I got 2 children by now.
Oh, well, the dad of your other child was in Jamaica?
Yeah, he's a Jamaican citizen. He lives in Jamaica.
He lives in Jamaica. All right, so you was going there to see him
and my
with
grandparents.
His child.
Okay.
So what did you have to do? Leave the door?
Leave her at the airport.
No.
That's how, if you got a court order, you don't... With his
so who, leave her with who?
With the immigration at the airport.
No.
He has to cut... You don't know. They all cancelled the passport, so I couldn't take her.
No.
Sorry,
I'm a bit taken
when
back
you've
by
got
this.
A court order, in his court order, it stated, because already by this time he already knew I had a Jamaican. I was going back and forth. I was doing the Jamaican thing at this time.
Okay.
So he put a stipulation to say I can't take her out of the country for more than 2 weeks, because he knew I was going back and forth. I was doing my thing.
Right. So he knows you've got a man in Jamaica. You've had a baby.
I hadn't had a baby at the court order stage, but I was doing the Jamaica thing regular. I was all threatening, I'm going to live in Jamaica. I can't take this.
I see.
So he put it in place.
Basically. Okay. And was that a hard decision for you?
I cried my eyes out on the plane. I cried my eyes out because it was like, well, what do I do here? I cried my eyes out because it's like, and I even said to the judge, when they were doing it, I think I remember when they were doing this little stipulation that, well, my grandparents are there, I go to Jamaica regular, my mum has a house, I got a business. At the time, we
and
had
lots of people
businesses.
go, you know,
for 6
back
weeks,
home for more
8
than 2
weeks.
weeks.
You can't go
so
2
2 weeks
weeks.
is, you know, I get 6 months, cool.
Cried
But
my
lots of
eyes
people do
out.
go for 4 weeks, 6 weeks,
Yeah.
8 weeks and stuff. And okay, so let me ask you, and how did your daughter react when that she couldn't go?
She already knew that she told her dad, and she knows what her dad's capable of. So I
really?
think she kind of was relieved in a way because she didn't want to go for so
probably
long.
didn't wanna go.
She doesn't
Okay.
do the whole 6 months Jamaica thing quite well.
Okay.
So I think that she already knew or whatever, but I don't think she realised the seriousness of it until I actually went for the 2 years.
So that time you didn't come back for 2 years? No.
I left her with him. You can't tell. I'm very strong-minded, you know. If I got something to do, I'm doing it. I literally was there for about 2 years. I came back in 2017.
Okay, so you left there for 2 years? Because you had a man, and had you had another child yet?
Yeah,
so you got a new family
the
out
time
there.
when he stopped her for the passport, that time there, she only stayed with him for the 6 weeks.
Okay.
And then I've come back.
Yeah.
But at the time, so he's still saying about not taking her. So I just started to go
Okay.
then. And
so obviously you've been with this new man now for a decent amount of time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're trying to build a life.
Yeah, I think I was about 4 years into it.
Okay. And are you thinking about moving to Jamaica, and you're really enjoying it
Yeah,
there?
I love Jamaica. I had things there in place. I had a business there at the time. My grandparents were there. We had houses. We got things there. So
Okay. But you knew your daughter can never come.
basically,
Because you know there's this stipulation.
Basically.
She can never come and
basically,
live there. But was that a decision you were still willing to make?
hence why I done the 2 years. Yeah, and it was the hardest decision because it was like it's basically picking between two children, isn't it?
Yeah.
So do I want my youngest to have a relationship with her dad? He's not in this country. He's a Jamaican citizen. He lives in Jamaica, or do I want to not make her see her dad and then have my oldest that's got access to her dad in England 24/7 can see him?
I get you. Do you think? Did anyone ever say that you were making the decision for man?
All the time. That was
Rather
the
than,
biggest
because
thing.
obviously you said
That
for
was
both
the
my
biggest
kids.
thing.
Because someone else might just
they
think,
always say
no,
that.
she went for man.
Man, yeah. They always say that. They always say that I went for man, or well, not. Yeah, I've heard it many times. She's chosen man over her child and different things. But then saying that, you could say that, and then you can say, well, I gave him an opportunity to do what he wants. He wants to be the dad. He wants to be in her life. So here you go.
Yeah.
Here's 6 months.
Okay.
Couldn't handle it though.
And how did your daughter respond to that?
It didn't work.
Like, was she upset with you? Was she angry at you?
In the beginning, it's living with daddy, and then this phone call started after 2 months.
Oh, really?
When are you coming home? When are you coming home? When are you coming home? When are you coming home?
Okay.
So
And was you on it? Like, was there always a tension? Did you always say to her, like, I'm not coming home? Or was it, you might have been coming home and then you just ended up staying longer? Or was it always quite like, I'm not coming?
she knew I weren't coming home.
Okay. So when you eventually did come back, obviously 2 years later,
Yeah.
what happened then? Did she come back and live with you?
Straight from the airport.
Really?
All her stuff was there. He was even at the airport. Straight from the airport.
Oh, really? And so why do you think that was?
Couldn't handle it.
Who, him and her?
Both, yeah.
Oh, really?
I know it sounds bad, but it's all sweetness and light. When I want to see my child, I want to see my child. But having your child 24/7 and doing the things that I've got to do, it's hard.
Yeah. Okay.
And especially when you got your own things. Remember, he's always been doing him as the man.
And he's got a wife, so did they go on to have any kids?
Yeah, they've got 2 and 1 on the way now.
Right, so
nearly
obviously
3.
so now your daughter's living in the house, there's other kids in the house.
He also had children with people when we were together. So he also had 2 children out of when I was with him as well.
Okay, so he's busy.
That's what I said.
He's
It was
busy.
for the streets, really,
He's
if I'm
busy.
honest. But that's what made me so angry.
He's busy.
But yeah,
Okay.
he's very busy.
Looking back now, was
Yeah.
that always the right decision that you made? Do you ever regret that
You mean Jamaica?
Yeah, that you went
No,
to Jamaica?
I don't have regrets. I'm a person. I don't.
Did that work out with the dad? Are you still with the dad of your second child?
No. Unfortunately, he's still in Jamaica.
Okay, but that was working before.
It worked. He came here, but unfortunately, had to go back. It worked for 11 years.
11 years. Okay,
Yeah.
so a decent amount of time.
Yeah, it worked.
And your second daughter now gets her dad in her life quite consistently, or
no? Well, because he's a Jamaican citizen, so we've got to go through all that it's a long visa period and everything. So he came here, we done all of that.
So you're going there, and then he's coming here, and he's staying here for periods of time.
Finances wasn't very secure to say, because I don't know if you know the visa system, but even to go and get like a settling visa is about $3,000.
Right. Okay.
So the finance to get a visiting one is cheaper. Okay. So it was just doing the visiting back and forth.
So note to self: don't date any Jamaicans.
Oh, it's
or
the
not even just Jamaicans. Don't date
the
any
visas
small
are
island
hard.
man.
It's a hard process, you know. Yeah.
So is she not be able to see her dad obviously that regularly?
No. So and now it's a decision I've made on her, isn't it?
Yeah. So and have you?
So I'm damned if I do and I'm damned if I don't. This is what I mean, because it's if I don't stay and do my 17-year-old, then she doesn't get to see hers. If I go and do my 7-year-old, then my 17. So I'm damned if I do that.
But are you not going to Jamaica anymore because you're not in a relationship with the dad anymore?
No, if I was able to probably go, I would.
You would.
My whole mindset changed when my daughter got to about 15, 14 is when I realised, 15, 14 or 6, I realised that I have to be here. I have to, because now she's not a child, she's developing into a young woman, and I'm not saying anything to the dads or anything. Her dad, brilliant, but he can't grow a girl.
Okay.
I feel like that. Like, you can't grow my daughter. I have to now be, and I don't want your wife to try and grow her either, especially at adolescent stages and things. She needs to be around me where I can teach her as a mum, and I didn't want, it was puberty as well. So it got to a stage where I knew that I have to be here now.
Okay.
Yeah, I have to be here for her now. Okay. So.
And I mean, was that tough decision?
Yeah.
Is that, I mean, I guess your daughter's only 7, the other one, so you're not really able to explain that to her yet? No,
and she cries her eyes out.
Her dad?
Yeah, and she has a good relationship. They talk a lot of WhatsApp video calls and things, but she's got a digital relationship with her father now, which...
So I guess you have to wait till she's big enough to start going.
Now because my oldest is 17, I'll leave her right in the house and go to Jamaica. So I've got her to a certain point, and she's doing very, very well in her life now. Yeah. So I will be able to go.
Would you date another man from the islands? Why not?
Do you know, for me, it was the stress of it all. Like, I remember all what I went through, and then him coming here and not even, like, I felt like he didn't even appreciate it.
Yeah.
Literally.
Is there a difference in parenting style with a man from on an island?
Yeah. I remember when he was here, especially with my oldest daughter, he used to think that she's got no manners, but they don't get it. Yeah. And I don't know, for me, I just feel like it's not worth it.
Yeah. And
unless you live there, unless you want to go and live in the islands.
Yeah, because aren't you both having to obviously deal with like long periods of absences from each other?
Yeah,
so you're both having to be
faithful. I dropped it in. I was married to this person, you know.
Who, this man in Jamaica?
My daughter's dad. I don't know if you heard, I dropped it in earlier.
Which one? The one that's 7?
Yeah, I don't know if you remember, I dropped it in earlier. I said my oldest daughter's dad's married, and I got married
and
first.
You got married. So you married the Jamaican. Yes. So what, can't he come here now then?
He was here.
Yeah, but he can live here now, no?
Well, that's the decisions he made.
Okay, all right. So and did you
on the plane?
And did you marry him so that he could stay here?
I married him in Jamaica. I married him because I was in love and I wanted to live there. Hence why.
You wanted to live there. So you married him, but with the intention to live there.
I married him there, with the intention of living there.
Oh right, okay.
It sounds confusing, but now you know why I wanted to do the Jamaica thing so much.
You're married, like you fell in love with a Jamaican man. You married the Jamaican man.
It's a sweet talk.
You're living in Jamaica. Your daughter's living here, but then you came back. And I mean, did you come back? Was the relationship with the husband not really working?
It always worked.
It always worked.
It's always
So what?
worked.
Did you just turn around one day and then just say to him like, "I gotta go. My daughter needs me, and I gotta go."
Well, when I came back to England, then he came to England.
Oh, he came. So when you decided, I've got to come back now.
Yeah.
She needs me.
He came.
Talk to him about it.
Yeah, and then we got him
as well.
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay, cool.
And then unfortunately for him, the decisions he's made, he's back there now.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, and that was when it was like, well, okay, we're finished now because I can't do this anymore. Okay. You're there, I'm here. It's just done now.
What decision did he make?
To be honest with you, My youngest daughter's dad's a footballer. He's a Jamaican footballer.
Okay.
Very, very affluent, very well known in Jamaica. And I think he knows everybody. So what would you say? In the islands, they're very much road people. So they don't do inside.
He's out all the time.
He's out
on the streets. He's on the streets.
Both of them. But you know, because he's a celebrity. I don't know if you know the islands or if you've been to any Caribbean island. Okay,
I'm from Grenada, but other than
I've been Grenada, so I know.
Big up Grenada.
You're Lyman, they would call it.
Jamaica,
so
yeah,
probably Lyman. But because he's a celebrity in the area, he would always be out. So he'd always be on the street.
So it's almost like work. You know them ones there, guys, where they're like,
no, in the islands they don't do the inside. They're always
so
outside.
It's just normal, just natural.
Outside living.
So
when he came here, it was number one, you're enclosed, so there's no block to hang on and things like that, and you couldn't work. So if you go through the visa process, is the hardest.
Oh, really? Couldn't work.
No.
Wow, that must have been a financial strain.
You can't work until you've gone for a different type of visa, and that's after 2 years, and then you get your national insurance number to work. So going from a footballer in Jamaica, where you've done everything for me when I'm there, weren't just a local. I used to come and stay in hotels and go to all the football stuff with him. All right. And then to come here to ask me for a tenner, it was a problem.
So that obviously that's going to be a strain.
Yeah, and I think it took the man out of him, so he decided to do the stick with Jamaicans as they do, and be in the wrong place. Yeah, and be in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Did he get in trouble?
Yeah.
Like police trouble?
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
So I said on the plane.
Right, okay. So
you thought I put him on the plane?
Okay, so he had to go back.
He got put on the plane.
Right, I see. Okay.
He got put on the plane.
Okay, and can he not come back?
I think when you go through all of that, I think it's 10 years.
But okay.
I think so
he has got himself in a situation where he cannot come back now.
Now,
he has put the nail. Did you know what he was doing in the sense of any of the criminal activity and all that? Do you know what he's doing when he's going out?
To be honest, I'm going to be honest with you. There's certain levels to it, isn't there? Because I don't know how to explain it. There's certain levels of it, but the level that he was on, I didn't know, because those type of things are not around me. I'm very, and in because I'm from West London, we're dark classes like posh and.
I'm from West London.
They always say we're classy. We're classy, and he was doing the South Londons. He was doing the South London.
I didn't want to say where, but
I'll say it. So he was traveling. I used to live in like Hayes.
Okay, yeah.
So you're traveling from Hayes to Brixton.
Okay, that's where he felt comfortable.
That's what they do, because So when you walk around Hayes, he hated it.
Yeah, because obviously
that's not his.
It's not going to be. You're not going to find your local yardies and all that in Hayes,
right? So and because he was a footballer, he has a world of friends.
Okay.
So coming here is not like a foreign country. That's coming to my brethren. He's got brethren in Walthamstow, Brixton. So he was linking up with all of his friends.
Okay.
And it was even sometimes he wouldn't come home for about 2-3 days.
Oh, really?
I'm with this man. Yeah,
I
used to cuss about that.
I'm not sure there's any reason why you can't sleep at home. You can be out till all sorts of time, but why can't you come? Because did you ever start thinking then that he's like got other women or anything?
Probably, but I've got a different thing to me. I'll keep it moving, like no problem.
Was you doing your own thing?
No, it's not that.
That's why you're saying that. You're like, I'll just keep it moving. I
don't have man issues.
What do you mean by man issues? I'm just.
So I don't have an issue. So if you're doing your thing, no worries. I could probably do mine if I want to. I don't have issues.
But if you're not doing your thing,
I was focused on the kid. I was focused on my kids.
But when he's coming back, can you still be cool and still be nice?
Oh no. Oh no, because I would say things like you got to sleep. You got to sleep home. You can go out and do your thing, but make sure you sleep at home. So I wasn't happy about that. And then when he did get into trouble, that was in Birmingham. So that's nothing to do with me. I live in Hayes.
Okay.
He was all the way in Birmingham.
Okay. So and when he did get sent back there, did you and him ever have a conversation about you coming there then? Like, because now he's stuck there. Did you ever talk about, okay, well, that's where you've got to be. So, and you said your daughter was getting older. Did you ever say like, okay, cool?
No, it was done.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was done for me. That was it for me.
Quite final. Did he expect?
Yeah, he got that. That was it for me. Because now you put my reputation on the line. Remember, I've had to sponsor you to come here.
Yeah.
I work in a council. I've been working for local authorities for
really?
years. Yeah. So for me, you're mashing up my reputation. Okay. No one knows me like that. Okay. And then all of a sudden, you know, you're in Birmingham doing whatever. So no.
All right. So this is where you're at now. And obviously you got 2 kids.
Yeah.
With neither of the dad. Have you thought about dating again?
Oh.
Like how, would that be easy? Something you can do? Because you already said you're not going to go for a Jamaican man.
No, I definitely won't. I won't. But then I have to point it out, the reason why I went for a Jamaican man in the first place, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
I went for a period where a lot of the English men, if I'm honest, didn't like women that looked like me.
Oh, right, okay.
I went through that period,
okay.
yeah? So everyone was not looking like me.
Okay.
So I was only getting attention from when I was in Jamaica or when I went to Grenada or when I went somewhere else. The English men my age or my area weren't people like me. So that's probably why I went there. Now the hardest thing for me is bringing people into my life around a 17-year-old.
Okay, Coco, that was a good conversation. It's really nice, I think, to hear from someone who does have a teenage child.
Yeah.
As you know, I'm a mum of someone who's 7, and I already think I know a lot. I think, 7 years experience, I've done it all, blah, blah. I definitely got enough to tell someone who's got like a baby. But it's nice to hear from you, obviously, who's done it for 17 years.
Yeah.
And done it twice. And so there's a lot to share, people. Hopefully it can help some younger mums who haven't reached a stage, who are upset, trying to go through the healing process. Because if that's what we can do, if we can
that's what I do now.
Is that what you do?
Yeah, I literally... No. I work separate, my 9 to 5, but I do have things like a women's group, etc. And I do talk to my daughter's friends. That's why I probably come on the platform, because I want to show other women, especially young mothers, there is an end. You never see I never saw the light at the end of the tunnel. I always thought it's always going to be like this.
Because you was tired.
Yeah.
You was angry.
And now I'm okay.
Yeah.
So it can work. You'll be fine. You will be fine. But it's probably also take accountability, work on yourself, set goals, try and smash them, and stop thinking about the man in a sense. Like, do you?
Yeah.
Find your niche and work on you. That
is the best advice that we could give to any mum, young, or old. And I think, like you said, that's the point of this platform. When we're talking, it may come across that we are slagging off the opposite person. Do you know what I mean? Like, when the baby fathers are talking, it might sound like they're just talking bad about the mum. When the mum's talking, it sounds like bad. But the point is, we're talking our story. We're telling our experience, and what people take from that is what they take. If they can learn anything, that's wonderful. All right, well, thank you for joining us for our 3rd episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you're not already subscribed to the Baby Fathers channel, then subscribe now, because that's where you can find our videos and where you can find all their episodes. Follow us on Instagram, the Baby Mothers page. Feel free to follow me, Shell Says. I've always got something to say. So signing out for today, and we'll see you again next time.